Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talks podcast. We have finally successfully and indefinitely picked a name for this podcast, and we have also successfully distributed it out to iTunes and Spotify and Amazon Music. So find us anywhere where you want to stream a podcast. We will be putting out episodes every week. Hopefully it'll get shorter, maybe like every 2 weeks or every 2 days or every 3 days or something like that. But like, subscribe, follow us, do the thing that you want to do. Back to the episode.
What's the name of the show again? What's the name of the show?
I think I'm going to call it the Jet 4 Podcast.
Jet 4 Podcast.
Yeah, specifically because Small Talks, I feel like I'm downplaying the seriousness of the podcast a little bit.
It's true, yeah.
Because I want to talk about this stuff with like creatives and other like entrepreneurs or business people. Because it's supposed to be like a journey. Like you start from somewhere, and then I would interview you from the start, and then I would do another episode or like catch up with you on another episode, and we'd like talk about where you've come from or what you've done since the last time I talked to you.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a great idea.
I thought it would be a good idea too, and just seeing like how like down the process now, I'm just seeing like how much it's like there's a lot to do with it, I feel like.
I'm sure with all the editing and trying to figure out the way to put it all back together, because you're getting one piece and another piece, and then you're making it into something really artistic and nice.
Yeah, it's very interesting too, because I feel like it's also me just learning on the way and trying to grow at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I think within the first couple episodes that I recorded so far, which like I've been front loading, right? Mm-hmm. Just to like post and get everything done. I feel like within the first couple episodes, I only started with one mic, and now I have two mics.
Okay.
And a portable recorder, and I'm like, okay, we're sort of getting somewhere, and I'm figuring out how to plan things and make sure that they're like outlined right, But I'm trying to add more stuff in.
What is it that inspired you to start the podcast?
Actually, it's about a lot of what inspired me is what we're going to talk about today. Mm-hmm. Mostly because that idea came up first, like last year. And then I was like, okay, I'll start this podcast. This seems like a good idea. And I was like, let me ask my friends. And then there was COVID. There was, I'm like sweating too. Oh my gosh.
It's kind of hot in here.
Yeah, I like ran up those stairs too.
Oh.
But there was COVID, there was the winter storm, and everything kind of just like annihilated my plans. And I was like, I sort of gave up because there was just too much going on. And I'm worried I'll like burn out myself again. But we'll bring it up. We'll bring it up later. Have you ever played We're Not Really Strangers?
No, I haven't.
Oh, really? Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay. So it's like, I'd say like it's an icebreaker game. It gets really deep the more you play it. But basically, there's 3 levels.
I see.
1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. And we'll start with level 1 and we'll work our way to level 3. Now, the way I've been playing it is we'd both pick a card out and then we'd ask the question. Either both answered or just one of us answered it, and then we'd move on to the next level and so on. There's more rules to the game like that, but I feel like this is just like a little intro game, that makes things a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
So, do you want to pick first? Or you want me to pick first?
I'll pick first.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh. It says Wildcard. Think of your favorite brand of cereal. On the count of 3, say your answers out loud. So let's take a moment to think. I've got mine too.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, that's a good one. I haven't had cereal in about a year.
It's been a while for me. We've been having a lot of oatmeal recently.
Oh yeah, same.
But I mean, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's like my guilty pleasure. Back when I was a kid, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. Just kind of put it back in there.
So I actually got that last time I played with
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I should have maybe shuffled these, but it's fine.
No.
I'm going to pick something from the middle.
Did you say Frosted Flakes?
Yeah, I said Frosted Flakes.
Oh no, that's a close second. I like the cinnamon and cinnamon toast crunch.
Ooh, do I seem like a coffee or tea person, sweetened or unsweetened?
Okay, so I feel like I've spent some time around you, and you've had hot beverages in your hand every so often.
Yeah.
I want to say you're more on, well, because I think I've seen you with both though, coffee and tea.
I have. I guess based on maybe my personality or something. Or
Probably more tea.
more tea, really?
Yeah.
Why
yeah.
tea?
You seem very down to earth. You have a kind of a very mild, you know. You're very tasteful, you know.
Taste.
Yes, yeah. The way that you go about things, you're very even keel. You know, you have everybody else's perspective in mind. I feel like if you were a coffee, you'd probably be very robust, and you have to like have everything your way. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too far into it, but I feel like you're very mellow. You help to relax people, and I think that tea does that better.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like you're the same way. That's why I feel like we get along really well, because you really help me relax too. Okay. I'll pick first. We'll go to number 2 now.
Number 2.
Okay. Ooh. What are you more afraid of, failure or success, and why?
Afraid of failure or success? I think I'm more afraid of success, and it may sound kind of odd.
Why is that?
I feel like I've always been pushed to just do my very best, and so far I've been doing pretty good. So I never really had that challenge where I had to face failure in the face, you know?
Yeah.
But then sometimes I feel I'm holding myself back. Like I feel like I have a lot of potential, but I'm a little bit too nervous about what would happen. Like, would I change if I decided to embark on something monumental as far as changing myself? Like, if I could really strive for success, but would I lose myself along the way? That's the question.
Interesting.
So I think I'm more afraid of success.
But you have a lot of humility, so that's amazing.
Yeah, I fail all the time, you know, and the only problem with failing is not learning a lesson from it.
That is true. Dang.
I'll go ahead and get another card. Let's see. Level 2. Oh, this is a tough one.
Oh no.
Are you lying to yourself about anything?
Am I lying to myself about anything? Does imposter syndrome count as lying?
I would say so.
You'd say so? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Because I mean, even starting this podcast and the photography that I do every day, I feel like I'm just not up to par. And I don't know who I'm comparing myself to, but I always feel like I am letting myself down if I complete something and it's not some like monumentous or amazing achievement. But I do celebrate the little wins that I get. Like, I feel accomplished that I made some album artwork earlier today, and I was like, it looks really good. I was like, I like it. And then I like sat there in the coffee shop for a little bit, and I was like, it's not good enough though. I was like, if I look at, I don't know, someone else's artwork who've done stuff for bigger celebrities or like for bigger artists, I try and think, I'm like, is this up to par to them? So maybe I'm just like, it's a little too much for me to handle sometimes, but I try and complete my work and then just like not look at it ever again.
No.
It's like how I post with Instagram too. Like, I will post on Instagram about my stuff and then I will not look at it for another hour, even though like part of social media's algorithm is to start interacting with people that like it, or start like commenting on things that people, or reply to comments that people have like posted on your picture or like on your tweet or something. And I just never do it because I'm too scared. I'll wait like an hour, and by then like the algorithm's kind of like moved on from you. So
maybe to an extent, you're afraid of success.
Yeah.
I think the tougher question is to look inside yourself and ask, why do you strive to do creative work? Are you trying to fulfill a certain expectation of yourself, or are you trying to figure out where your limits are. And there's a lot of different ways to go with that. But I think along the way, it's important to congratulate yourself for all the good things you do.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to pick number 3 first?
I'll pick number 3. I'll go in the middle here. Okay, this is a good one. If we were in a band, what would our band name be?
What would our band name be? I feel like is it just me and you?
Yeah, if the two of us were in a band.
Okay.
Well, first, like, what genre would we be?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of too.
That's tough. I feel like I would kind of like a classic rock kind of cover band or something.
Okay. A cover band.
Like kind of a classic rock kind of. You play the good oldies and stuff.
Yeah. No, that'd be really good actually.
Yeah.
I feel like I could get into that. Wait, what would you play?
I'd need to learn how to play the guitar.
Wait, I thought you know how to play an instrument.
I know how to play the viola. It's like a large violin, but you don't really see it in the kind of music I like. So it's kind of odd that that's the one I chose, but yeah.
I mean, we can incorporate it. Be like some sort of like alternative cover band.
Oh yeah. I'll play some covers with the viola.
Yeah, I could play the drums. I think we would call it. I'm trying to find something relevant. Ooh, the Ace of Spades.
Oh, the Ace of Spades would be cool.
Like that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Just because we as of now we both have the Ace.
It was a groomsman gift.
Yeah,
it's a bottle
Ace
opener.
Bottle openers.
Yeah.
I feel like those are really cool. So we can name ourselves the Ace of Spades. I think that'd work out really well.
The Aces of Spades?
The Aces of Spades?
The Ace of Spades.
I feel like the Ace of Spades sounds weird. I don't know. Is aces plural for ace or?
Yeah. I guess if we want to go with the singular band name.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ace of Spades.
We would be Spades.
Spades.
Everyone else would be Spades. We would be the Aces.
Oh, that's true. If we had like a whole band behind us, we would be the Aces and they'd be the Spades.
Yeah. That makes sense. But cool.
That was a cool question. Yeah.
That's. Oh wait, I still have to pick out.
Yeah.
All right. Each level has its own name, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if you. So level 1 was perception. Level 2 was connection, and level 3 is reflection, I believe. Yeah, reflection. And this one is what about me? What about me most surprised you?
I feel like there's a lot more that I want to learn about you. You know, like we've known each other for a long time, but and we've done so many things together. But along the way, I feel like we were always around a lot of other people. So I think it would be nice to spend more time with you, just one-on-one, to learn more about what makes you tick. I think what surprises me most about you is your determination, your work ethic. You put yourself into what you do, and that's very admirable. There's a lot of people who go to work and then they immediately just want to like wash off all the work, and then like they separate the two to an extreme extent. But I feel like for you, like what you love what you do, and that's why you live it, and that's very inspiring.
Oh, thanks.
You found the thing that you really want to put yourself into, so I like that.
Thanks, Hamilton. That means a lot, actually. Because, I mean, the whole imposter syndrome does not make me feel like that at all.
Really?
Yeah, because, I mean, after I come from a place that I've worked at, I just kind of come home and do the thing that I like to do, but I don't ever see it as work. Maybe that's why I don't ever see that I'm, like, doing any better or getting any better, because I'm not analyzing myself that much. So, I don't know. It helps to know that you've recognized that, because it's hard for me to recognize that in myself sometimes.
And from an outside perspective, you are doing better. You know, I can see your development, and it's very impressive.
Thank you. And to you too as well. You've come out from a lot, and you're doing really good for yourself and really great. And we're gonna separate from each other in like the next couple of weeks, but we're both gonna be in like amazing places, and we'll catch up every now and then. I'll visit you in Houston. You'll visit me in San Antonio. You know. But I'm proud of you.
I like to think that right now we are where we're supposed to be, and then in 2 weeks we're going to be where we're supposed to be, and we'll find our way back together. And it's been meaningful time together. I really want that for us.
Yeah. It'll be awesome. Okay. So, when did you graduate? Did you graduate in the same year I did? 19?
Well, I graduated in 2018 because I rushed through my bachelor's. So it was only 3 years.
Yeah.
So I graduated 2018, but I was class of 2019. So on my Aggie ring, it's a 19.
Oh, okay. But you graduated in 2018. Okay, that's right. And then you were just around Canterbury with us that entire time.
Yeah, I was working at HEB and just kind of trying to get my feet. Because once I graduated, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Yeah. I rushed through. I only spent 2.5 years at A&M because I spent a whole semester over in Germany.
Oh, it was in Germany for a study abroad, or
yes.
Okay.
So in 2016, that was the first semester of my sophomore year. Everybody thought I was crazy because I wanted to leave Texas A&M during the football season and go over to Europe. And ever since I was in high school, I knew I really wanted to study abroad in Germany at a business school, and that's what I did, and I loved it. Yeah.
I didn't know that about you, actually.
I remember I walked in freshman year to my advisor and I said, we're going to make this happen. And she was like, well, I mean, I guess if you want to, because it can be expensive or there can be language requirements and things like that for certain study abroads when you're there for 6-8 months, But yeah, that's what I did. And it was just really exciting. I got to travel a lot. But back to the main point, I rushed through my bachelor's and I had a great time. I got really good grades. I was in the honors college and doing business school and stuff. But then by the time I got out, I didn't have an internship. I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It was,
you just ended up working at HEB because...
I actually started in October of 2018 after I graduated. I was looking all over. I was pretty desperate for a job. Yeah. And I sunk to my lowest point, I think, when I took a job at a call center in Bryan.
Oh.
And
I remember that. I remember you telling me about that.
It was quite the experience because every day I would go in, I would be so excited because I hadn't had a job before. So I brought my little lunchbox, and I would go in there, and then I would be constantly on the phone asking people for really personal information. Yeah. I was saying I represent the New York State Department of Health, and I need to know this, this, and this, and this about you. And they're like, and then I was bothering these people to the extent that it bothered me because I thought, I'm not really doing good in this job. I'm not doing something that I'm proud of. So then I would come home and I'd cry about it. And I would say I don't know, is this what I'm worth? Is this all I can ever do? I rushed through and now I missed my chance to do anything with my life. And it was around that time I met Samantha the year before and we were dating, and I would come home and I'd talk to her about it. And she would say that I shouldn't ever work in a job that makes me feel that way, that makes me feel humiliated, or that I'm just causing so much inconvenience and problems to other people. Yeah. And I imagine we were gathering marketing research. That's how they framed it. They're saying you're going to be a marketing researcher, but then you end up just, and we were discouraged from talking to any other coworkers. Oh, really? We had to I think we only had 5-minute breaks twice in the day. So we didn't really have much time for lunch they were constantly watching over us and walking through, and they would take us into the office and say, hey, you messed up on this word on the survey, on the script you're supposed to be reading. So we had to read just off a script. So there wasn't anything, there was no way to actually put in our own personality. We would just have to read it word for word. Whoa. It was soul crushing. And I know people still do that kind of work, and I want to try to send a blessing to them to, really look deep in themselves and figure out what they want to do. And yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that actually. I thought it was. I remember you telling me it was marketing research. I didn't know it was a call center. Yeah,
at the time I was embarrassed about it, so I was telling people I work for a marketing research company, which was technically what they advertised as. Yeah. But then finally it got to a tipping point where I decided that I just couldn't go back another day. I wouldn't be able to stand it. and Samantha, my girlfriend at the time, but now she's my wife.
Yeah.
She had such a big heart, and she was saying, well, Hamilton, you should never do something that makes you feel that way. You want to find a company you believe in. So then I found HEB, and I started as not a bagger and not a cashier, but as the person who was outside pushing the carts.
Oh, okay.
With a college degree.
We all start out somewhere rough. I always feel like that first year out of college is always your roughest, even if you had a lot of like work experience or if you didn't have any at all, and you got good grades and you come out with a bachelor's or a master's. That first year is one of the worst years for many of us too, who either try and get into some sort of field or creative job. It is the worst, and a lot of us end up at places like HEB and Starbucks.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
What was your experience like after graduation?
I graduated the 6-month period before COVID started.
Oh.
Yeah, 2019, right before summer, 2019 spring. And I went into the summer immediately with a job, but I decided to try and like forlong it and work at the summer camp that I've been working at for a long time. And so I said, hey, I can start in August. And they're like, okay, awesome. We'd love to have you in August. And so after that summer, I started working at an engineering firm for a little bit. And then it was just a regular 9 to 5. I would get detailed blueprints to like fix up or look over. And then I would send it off to like higher ups, and then they would complete the rest of the blueprints. So I wouldn't really see the rest of the plans unless they wanted to talk about it with me, or unless we had like a huge meeting about it, then I could actually see the whole thing. But I never had a whole like hand in it. I did do some field work where I would go to houses and I would just like feel around like the leveling. And we'd have like special tools too to like measure the ground. And so if we know that one side of the house is like inclined or tipped over, then we would like advise them to fix it, or we would just do the analysis and then send it over to the realtor who was like asking for it or something like that. It would help evaluate the house and know if like they need to send someone else to fix it. But that was like the only thing I ever did. And so I don't know, it was pretty boring.
There wasn't much creativity in it.
No, there wasn't. And I started looking into other firms, engineering firms and architectural firms. But at the same time, my engineering company was having a merger with another engineering firm. And right after this merger, they kind of got rid of a lot of people. And I think I was the first one that they got rid of because I was one of the like latest hires. And so they were like, hey, we don't really need you. And I was like, okay.
Oh, no.
Well, that's great. And I was already doing photography on the side. So I decided if I'm going to do something that I am either going to fail or succeed in, I'd rather do something I'd love and fail and succeed in that. So I kept doing photography. And now I have a couple contracts with people and an engineering firm as well. So I'm, ironically in a good spot. And now I'm trying to do more creative stuff that kind of fuels my motivation and drive every single day. Like this podcast. Or more stuff on TikTok. I don't know.
I don't think it's ironic where you are. I think you worked really hard to be in your position. And I feel like it's a natural development to be where you are now, as far as your contracts and still being in that line of work that you find very satisfying and that you're able to use your creativity and I'm really happy for you that you've been able to work and find your own little niche in the market.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm actually really grateful that you've been supporting me too. Mm-hmm. I know we've seen each other like every other month, I would say, since we've like lived here in the same town. But it really helps me a lot whenever we like go play chess or go get coffee or do some sort of event together.
If nothing else, it could be something that you could take some time away to just relax and spend some time with a friend and get anything off your chest if anything's worrying you.
Yeah.
We're both in a similar position as far as our life goes. We're both trying to make it as young professionals. And that's scary, and it
is very scary.
It's one of those things that we're in uncharted territory right now as far as after COVID, and then now there's the economic recession going on, and we're trying to figure out the best way to move forward.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, everybody says that this is probably the worst time to buy a house or the worst time to try to look for a job or different things like that. I think we're doing it though.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, you still did it. You were still able to buy a house.
Yeah, we just closed last week. It was one of those decisions that you look back on it and you realize that that's probably the most money you'll ever spend. You know, it's one of those huge purchases, and it's a big commitment though, because now we're obligated to pay this for the next 30 years, but we probably won't be there that long. But you know, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Look at us.
I know.
I can't believe you said 2018, 2019. I'm about 3 years away from my own graduation, and you're about 4 years. Jeez.
And then while I was working at HEB, that's when I decided that I would be interested in getting a master's in economics, but not for necessarily going into a company setting, but I really thought I would be a really great professor. You know, I get this kind of a deep feeling of joy and satisfaction when I get to teach people things. And I feel like economics is one of those subjects that it's kind of a soft science where a lot of it is based on how people feel about things, you know, how they react to certain situations and how that's not always rational. So I feel like it's a really cool study because you learn about people's decision making in regards to resources and money and time.
Yeah.
So then I really wanted to be an economics professor. And then once I got back for my master's here to Texas A&M, I had more time to think about it, and I talked to more of my schoolmates, and I thought, you know, how about I go ahead and give the corporate route a try? I had some friends who were already working for BDO, the accounting firm, and they really loved the job that they did with transfer pricing, which is kind of like international economic analysis. So I followed their recommendations and I applied, and I impressed the managers. So now I feel very lucky to be where I am. And sometimes I get that kind of imposter syndrome also. I feel like, oh, they may have chosen the wrong guy, or you know, my learning curve is a little bit steeper than the other people have said, you know, but you're always gonna find a way to doubt yourself until you don't, you know.
That's true. Something's always gonna push you until it comes down to it, and then you actually have to do it. Dang. Well, since we're both sort of like 3 to 4 years out, do you have any advice for any post-grads that are coming into the workforce or sort of just trying to find their way in life right now?
I think that you shouldn't settle for a job that doesn't feed you on a emotional level or intellectual level. You should try to find something that is interesting to you.
Okay.
Life's too short to do a job that you hate doing. You know, even in the short term, you know, you want to find something that you'd be proud to talk about to other people, and there are jobs out there. I'm not exactly sure all the different markets, but for some reason it seems more difficult now than it ever has before. As far as, you know, even 3 or 4 years ago when we graduated, like I wouldn't want to graduate now into this market.
Yeah. Some people are still doing it.
Yeah, no, and I applaud them and I wish them luck because, you know, the economy is expanding in its own way. We experienced so much economic expansion last year that I think the recession is just a correction of the prices in the market. As far as equity that was maybe overvalued, and then there's a bit of a bubble, and then this is kind of letting off the steam of that. So I feel that in general that we're not experiencing any kind of detriment to the economy. I think it's just kind of correcting itself, and it'll move forward as normal.
Interesting. I don't really have any more questions. You like? Pretty good.
It's been really hot recently. You know,
it has. It's been really hot. We can stop recording too. I'm not like. I feel like we've gotten a good amount, and I love the wisdom that you gave out too. Like it's a lot, and I was trying to like process everything, and I was like, oh man, I love this. And then I was trying to think of new things to like bring up. But I'm just enjoying a beer with you. It's fine.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt. We're just having a conversation, and there just happens to be a couple microphones.
Yeah. There happens to be someone recording, so.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity to come and get to chat a little bit.
Yeah. It's really good to catch up with you. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we can do this more.
Oh yeah.
The next couple of weeks, having a pool party.
Oh, a pool party. Yep. That sounds like a lot of fun.
And then I'll have to visit you in Houston at some point. We'll go to Woodrow's.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, we'll raise some turtles.
Oh, raise some oh, wait, I had forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Do you bet on the turtles?
You do. You bet on the turtles.
Nice.
It's completely free. But when your turtle wins, you get a free shot. That's about it. You get one free shot if your turtle wins. Usually it's like there would be like a little box in the middle where the turtles are, and then they would lift the box, and the first turtle to get outside of the little ring would be the first one to win.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah,
it is. It's a lot of fun. It's really intense too. It's crazy. But we'll have to do that when I get there, and maybe shoot another podcast. I'm going to keep this going. I'm going to stay committed to this as much as I've stayed committed to photography, and then hopefully also bring up my magazine again.
I think you've got a lot of different projects going on, but that I feel like that's part of who you are. You are creative in so many different ways, and I'm excited to see what will come out of it.
And I'm excited to make you part of it as well. You and all my friends. I feel like you guys deserve a lot of the limelight because you're supporting me so much. So
I didn't even think that I had much to contribute, but I guess I did.
You're like one of the wisest friends I have. You definitely have a lot to contribute. But I'll end this now, and we'll drink a couple more beers and just hang out, play pool.
Oh yes.